everybody, this is Brad from Board Game Geek. We're here with Scott from North Star Games, and we're checking out what you guys are doing in the digital space. We've spoken a little bit in the past, but I know that you guys are actually really going gung-ho into forming a digital team in-house. What does that mean to really have your digital work done in-house?
Yeah, it's been fun. We've kind of been under wraps for the last 2 years or so. As we've been kind of forming. We've got an awesome team. We got some really quality folks. We're pretty excited about that. And we kind of decided we've had some experience outsourcing our games in the past. Some really good companies. They did a decent job. We felt like there's a certain kind of pride of ownership and just getting those little details just right that we want to be able to do ourselves, and to be able to do that and continue to refine and revise and do it again and again until it just feels perfect and acts perfect. We realized we had to pull it in-house.
That's awesome. So on top of building that team, why did you guys select Evolution as your first project for this team?
Good question. We had a lot of debate about that versus like Wits and Wagers that probably has a lot bigger brand name out there and it's known by some more folks. I think it comes down to we love this game. We're really excited about Evolution. I mean, just the blend of the theme, the way the cards interact. We feel like this one has potential to be one of the great evergreen hobby games. It's right at that sweet spot of easy to learn, but really deep skill as you get into it and the combinations. You're trying to build your engine, but then the environment's constantly morphing. You got to shift that engine to what's going on. It makes the game so every time it's kind of a fresh experience. There's something new that happens, and it's an exciting game. This way you can play the game over and over, get a lot of experience with it, see the skill that comes into it, and start to get I've probably played the game about 1,000 times now. I still look forward to playing it. It's a fun game.
Cool. So you guys are showing it off to people here at the show. Do you think you could give us a quick run-through of where the game is today?
Sure.
I can hold this.
Yeah. So we've like I said, this is our 4th version of the prototype, I think, right now. We've the species badge here, we've done about 60 different variations for. Actually, it's been really hard. There's a lot of information in the game.
Yeah.
To portray it simply, and it's been a real challenge. Here, let me slow this down and I can show you what's going on here.
No worries.
Yeah. This is our book. This is our main menu. The theme of the game is you're the explorer, kind of reminiscent of Darwin in the 1800s, going to this uncharted archipelago, and you're exploring these new animals that come out. So
it looks like it's a fully 3D engine?
Yeah, in our latest version we went to a full 3D. We really want to have a physicality to everything, so it felt like they're physical objects. You can grab it, move it around. All the cards have some weight to it, and just gravity is active as well in the game this way. It makes it more intuitive what you're doing as you play the cards. We want to make sure that the gameplay is really fast and fluid. That was one of our requirements from the outset. So everything is just one motion, drag it to what you want to do, let go. It makes the games go really fast, which is awesome. A game in cardboard takes about 45 minutes on a tabletop.
Yeah.
Here, you can go through a game in about 5 minutes. So It's just that quick play. We want to get down to that 5-minute time, especially for the multiplayer, so you didn't feel like you're committing to a long game. You can have a really quick experience. So you can see I got 2 species here. You can grab a card to play it like that.
Okay. So you assign traits just by dragging and dropping?
Drag and drop to do the traits. Yeah, we've one thing that's been really tricky is to get the traits up there so they're easy to see and understand, and they all fit on screen at the same time. Yeah, so you can see the digital cards that way. There's a carnivore. That's one of the more fun aspects of the game.
Yeah.
We're in the feeding phase right now. Go and grab a food. The essence of the game is you're essentially trying to keep your little species here at the bottom alive. We just got attacked by a carnivore. There's a lot of threats out there in nature. We got carnivores. Starvation is always present. So you're trying to adapt into the changing environment, figure out some traits to help you eat faster and survive. Protect yourself from carnivores, and you can even potentially become a carnivore and go eat others. We'll adapt into a carnivore here and show how that works.
Definitely. And so, will there be like indicators of like which are carnivores versus, I guess, the images change based on?
Yeah, you can see both these guys here. They have a carnivore state as they go to carnivore. We're actually going to call this out a little bit more, I think, because it's a really key element of the game. Yeah. We're going to put a glow to it to make it really obvious. We're also working on some of the animations when they attack, so you really feel that smash down and the weight of a big carnivore, and there'll be an animation as it attacks. We're animating all the traits to really try to illustrate what's going on and make it easier for somebody new to the game to figure out. Make intuitive what's going on and just make the gameplay a little more fun too.
Very cool.
Let's go see if there's anybody we can attack here. I think it defended itself enough though that we might end up starving for our poor carnivore.
It does have climbing over there. That one's going to be tricky.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? This burrow up here luckily did not feed and left himself exposed, so we can go take a bite. That was close. Being a carnivore is also risky because if you can't eat anybody, you've got to eat meat. There's no plant food available.
So it looks like while you've obviously done some more digital looking elements, some of the, the cards look straight out of the game. I mean, obviously the text is hidden, but and also the tokens kind of match. So there's a familiarity if you're familiar with the game.
Yeah, I mean, one of our, our commandments we were given from on high is thou shalt not break the rules of the game. It's got to be true to the game, which has been really a struggle to figure out how to be true to the game and make the gameplay fast and fluid and obvious to new players.
Yeah.
That's something we really wrestle with, and we've managed to stick to that pretty well. In a game especially that has, infinite amount of cards you can have and infinite species, it's been tricky trying to figure out that right balance to make sure it's great for players. So yeah, one of our overriding things we want to do with the game is try to make it a really welcoming environment for new players. So people not familiar with the game can come in, see what's going on pretty quickly, get a feel for the game. We've spent a lot of time on our tutorial, where it's basically, here I can go show you a little bit of that.
Sure.
We want to make sure it's a real learn by doing. So you're just playing, our host kind of takes you by the hand just like a friend does when he's teaching you a game. This is what you need to do this. Okay, let's go ahead and start playing. We want that same experience to replicate it in game.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're putting so much time and energy into this to make sure it's something that is going to be on every board gamer's list of, wow, that's a great digital game. We've got to give this one a try. Here's our little host, and he just walks you through the basics of how to play.
Okay.
And you gradually build up until you're playing the full game.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is something we're going to build out quite a bit more. We also are putting in some new gameplay situations where it's a pretty dynamic ecosystem. You change anything in the ecosystem, you get a new game, a different feel. We'll put some new cards in, some different layouts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Keep it varied as we put in a campaign mode, and those are the pieces that we're building out now. Yeah.
How can players, what's the roadmap? How can players start to get involved with this game?
So this is the first time we're showing off here at Gen Con that we're in the beta. We are going to do a Kickstarter for the game next month. September 25th, we launch the Kickstarter. Anybody that backs our Kickstarter will get a copy of the beta immediately, right at the end of the Kickstarter. So that's one way we can get it in everybody's hands. We do plan to launch it first half of next year, is what we're looking at. So we've got a lot of things we still want to do. Part of the reason we're doing the Kickstarter is to help build out the multiplayer and the back end. We want to do a match-made multiplayer where it's just a skill-based matchmaking instead of a lobby and all that. It's just play now, we'll match with somebody your skill level, instantly get into a game and play through a game. So we also plan to do a lot of different variations of the artificial intelligence computer players.
Okay.
There's a lot of different ways to win the game, a lot of different strategies. Some like to do a carnivore, some people like to make a food engine and really gobble the food. Some people just turtle down. We're going to make each of those different strategies into a different AI player, so you get varied gameplay. You can experience some of the different ways, that a lot of people tend to get set in one way, and you realize, oh man, there's an entirely different path you can take to success here. And it's fun to play against those different styles of player too. So those are all things that we're working on right now.
Very cool. Well, it looks like it's coming along really well, and we'll look forward to the Kickstarter next month.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cool.